The real threat to freedom isn't coming from the right. Freedom doesn't disappear overnight, it erodes slowly, silently, disguised as progress. And, by the time you realize it's gone, it's already too late. We're told today that the greatest threat to democracy is coming from the right. That traditional values, family, faith, and patriotism are signs of extremism. But what if the real threat has been quietly building on the other side all along? Not with force, but with control. Not with guns, but with regulations, censorship, and cultural reprogramming. It doesn't wear a uniform. It doesn't march down the street. It signs laws, controls algorithms, and rewrites language. And it's happening right now. Across the West, we've seen a massive expansion of centralized power under the banner of safety, inclusivity, and equity. But these aren't just nice words, they're tools. Tools to reshape the country without ever firing a shot. Freedom of speech? Well, that's been replaced with speech that's approved. Religious freedom? These days, it's recast as bigotry. Medical freedom? Now that's just called a conspiracy theory. Private property? Apparently it's a barrier to climate goals. And family values, those are somehow a threat to modern progress. Every pillar of Western civilization, faith, family, tradition, individual liberty is under assault. And, it's not accidental, because when people are strong in their identity, they don't need the state. When families are intact, they don't rely on government programs. And when communities are self-reliant, the bureaucracy loses control. So those things have to be weakened. This isn't about left versus right anymore, it's about control versus liberty. The modern left isn't asking for a seat at the table. They want to flip the table over and tell you where to sit. They'll say men can be women. That crime is compassion. That history should be rewritten. That speech is violence, but violence is justice. And if you disagree, well, you're silenced, you're demonized, you're labeled a danger to democracy. But here's the irony. It's not conservatives enforcing mass censorship. It's not the right who's coordinating between government agencies and tech giants to police what you say. It's not the right that controls Hollywood, academia, or the corporate media. And yet we're told we're the danger? Let's be clear. Authoritarianism doesn't always come dressed in military gear. Sometimes it wears a lab coat, or holds a press badge, or stands behind a podium smiling as it signs away your rights for your own good. They call it equity, they call it tolerance, they call it public safety. But it always ends the same way, with less freedom. And once freedom is lost, it doesn't come back easily. Because power, once taken, is rarely given back without a fight. So what do? Well, we remember who we are. We remember that the Constitution doesn't grant us rights. It protects the rights we're born with. That government works for us, not the other way around. And that truth is not a matter of opinion, and morality doesn't change with the news cycle. We stand for the timeless values that made this country great: faith, family, freedom, responsibility, order, not because they're old, but because they work. This isn't about hate, it's about love for our country, our kids, and the truth. And the truth is this: freedom doesn't die with a bang, it dies with a whisper, with a shrug, with silence. Don't let it. Like, share, and subscribe to The Conservative Cardinal.